Welcome back here on Tech Talk. Today I'm doing a tutorial on disassembling and assembly of laptops. Yeah, let's get started. So here I've got four laptops, which is a Dell, HP, Lenovo, and this is a very old one. Um, known as now also HP. I'll run you through the oldest one first, which is the HP. So this is the oldest unit I have here. This is a HP. Not even sure what is the model number on this thing, but it still works. It's just really outdated. It's a 32-bit processor. It came with Windows XP Professional, and what I just wanted to demonstrate on this older units is that it has a removable battery, unlike your newer devices that has the bolt-in units. So it usually just have two clips which you would slide, and then the battery slides out like that. Um, your newer devices would have the battery bolt-in. What you'll also find on the older devices is that they have compartments for the hard drives and memory RAM units, which makes it easier to upgrade and also remove or whatever you need to do to it. You'll see with this here, it has your USB 2.0 slots. It has a gigabit Ethernet. It has your VGA display outlet, but this one also has a serial port because it's such an old device, and a parallel port, which most of the older printers used to work on parallel ports. It also has some other ports like RJ11, which you'd use for your old telephones. Not too sure about the port next to the RJ11 port. If any of you know what that is for, you can just comment on this video. Also have some funny looking things that it has here on the side, which who knows what it was for. But yeah, it's a really old laptop. Slide that back in. Slide the next one out. I'm really not sure what that was for. It would also have your audio and mic output. Earphone jacks, input, and a microphone. But the older units also, what you'll see is usually it has a little slider to open up the screen, whereas the newer units you just pop it open. This one actually locks in place, and you can't open it, so you'll slide it open and then you have it open like that. It has a fingerprint scanner. So back in the days it was a high-end unit, but that is early 2000, maybe late 1990s. So my face will be cut out from this shot, but it's just to make it easier for you guys to see what I'm doing. So you just need a little star screwdriver. I'm using a watchmaker because I couldn't find my proper tools today. So this machine is still working. I did upgrade it a little bit, so just use another one for just prying it open. It just clips open like that, and there you would have your little Wi-Fi card and your RAM. This is still the same principle with all the newer models as well. There's like clips on the side of the RAM that just you pull it out to the sides, and then the RAM will pop up like this, and you just pull it out. This is, I'm not too sure but it's a 1 gigabyte RAM, which I would guess it is like a DDR2 maybe. So same thing is you slide it in and then you just push it down to get it back in. I'm not using my anti-static rust strap at the moment, please forgive me. So you'll just, there's like two clips and you just slide it in and push it down again. And you just screw it on. It also has the compartment over here for the hard disk drive. Oh, this one I upgraded actually. Previously, it came out originally. I think I had like a 128, or if I'm not mistaken, like an 80 gigabyte drive. So it does have a little bit of a bigger one, a 500 gigabyte one that I installed. So this is a 2.5. All of the hard drives have the 2.5 inch hard drives. So you would just unscrew it over there and over there, and then the hard drive would be able to be removed from this little bracket, and you just install your hard drive in there, put the screws back in, and then it just slides in like that. We're not gonna remove the board. I just wanted to show you that basics of the older hard drives, so they're much easier to disassemble. But to remove the actual motherboard and get to the CPU, you would need to remove the entire case. You'll need to remove the battery. You need to remove the battery, disconnect all of the screws, and then remove the covers, and you'll be able to get to the motherboard. I'm not going to be disassembling the entire thing. That was just a basic rundown on how to get to the different components of these older hard drives. I have another one like that. This one is a little bit more modern. It's also still a very old unit, more than say 15 years old, or maybe a little bit more. This one is an i5. It doesn't have the little slider for the screen, but it still does have the little clips on the side at the back for the battery to be removed, and that's how you remove the battery. It has two screws. This one is also very easy to disassemble. It has two screws on the side. I'm really using the wrong screwdriver for this job. And then it just slides forward. This is a Lenovo ThinkPad. As you can see over there, the hard drive was replaced already, upgraded to a SSD drive, which is much better than your normal hard disk drives. It has two memory RAM slots, memory slots, which is also been upgraded, so it has two 4 gig RAMs. And this one's the same thing as the previous. You just slide the slots, little clips to the side, and the RAM pops up, and you pull it out. To access the other one, you'll need to first remove the first one. Same thing with the second one. Slide it just clip it out to the sides, and then just the RAM module just pops out like that. There's one screw over here for the hard drive, which is now upgraded to the SSD drives. I'll do a video on that for you in the coming weeks. The upgrading from a hard drive to SSD. mindful of where you're putting your screws. So same principle as with the um, other laptop. It just slides out like that, and then it also has a little frame for the hard drive or solid state drive to sit in. So you'll just, this one actually doesn't have screws. You just clip it in on the side like that. I'll remove it completely, and then you can just put in your hard drive or solid state drive, such in this case. Just put it back. So same thing. You'll see that it has a little Wi-Fi card, and it also has a um, mobile network card over there. So this one would be able to take um, a SIM card. So just slide that back in there. Over here you'll see there's a fan which runs to this metal pipe which sits on top of your CPU, your processor, which that keeps it cool, and the fan just adds some extra cooling for the CPU. I'm really not going to remove that at the moment because that will be a hassle. But as you can see, if you do want to remove the entire board, there's another few screws to just remove the entire back. But this is just easy access for your hard drive and your RAM, Wi-Fi module, and your CPU. Let's just slide this back in there. So like I said, slide it in and then just push it down. Slide it in and then just push it down. And that's about it. Like I said, I'll do a little video on upgrading from a hard drive to SSD. I'll give you more detail on that. So that just slides back in. And just screw it back in like that. These older laptops also has little, as you can see there, connectors for a docking station. They usually have a whole big docking station that they sit on top of, which just makes it easier to connect them to extra screens and DVD drives. Let's just move on to the next one. This one is a HP. It's also an i5. It's a much newer model. So they completely enclosed. It's more slim than the older units. And like I said, the batteries are inside and not as easy detachable as the newer laptops. Oh, I'm missing a screw over there. So in the case of this HP, which is a bit of a slap, it has this little rubber standoffs, which just allows you not to scratch your surfaces, and the laptop doesn't slide around on the surface. So that actually has to be removed, and they are sticked on with some sticky solution, which makes it difficult to actually get to these other screws. And once you remove them, you have to get some sticky tape or some glue to just get them back on. That's why you see they're not even, so then you put them back on here. Because I previously upgraded this thing, also came out with a normal hard disk drive and only had 4 gigs of RAM. So I have upgraded it to, it has another 8 gigs of RAM, which totals at 12 gigs of RAM, and I installed a solid state drive in here. So with this one, you have to actually pry it open. Just get a spot to get your screwdriver in. You'd see I already broke the cover of this thing. It just makes it very difficult with the newer devices. So you'd get some specific prying tools that you lift the covers up with, but it's a very old unit. Not that old, but it's an older unit, so I won't bother with. I wouldn't open up a newer device like this if it was the same case. Let me just get to a spot where I can. There we go. So just be very careful of not breaking the plastics. These newer laptops are very plasticky. Much more fragile than the older units. So let's just make sure we got all the screws up properly out. There we go. Just popped. And there we go. These ones are way more accessible once you got them open. Doesn't have a CD or DVD drive. It has the battery built in. You can replace it. You can see there's some screws to have it removed and replaced. This one doesn't have the RAM on top of each other, so you can remove one at a time. Still the same principle. Clip it to the side. I hope I'm in the video. Clip it to the side, and then it pops up. Move it to the side, and it pops up. This one uses, I think, DDR4. Yeah, 8 gig, 4 gig. Just slide it in, push it down. Slide it in, push it down. It only goes one way. The solid state drive is not in a bracket. Or is it? Let's check. Still the same principle though, just has 2 screws in this one instead of the one screw with the other laptops. Once you got that, there's just a little bracket holding down the solid state drive. Just also pulls back like that. Sorry for my hand. And there we have it. This is a 256 gigabyte hard drive. Just make sure that you don't break anything. Very gentle with it. Like I said, these new units are much more fragile than the older laptops. Oh, I'm not getting it clipped in the. Oh, it's not properly seated. There we go. It does actually look like there's a compartment here for a DVD, CD drive. Same principle with the fan connected to a little copper piece of iron, which is then seated on top of this CPU. As you can see, the whole motherboard is much more accessible than with your older units where you have compartments for the hard drive and RAM. Whereas this one is it's way more accessible now. Make sure it clicks in properly. There we go. Once we've done that, this is one of the newer laptops. This is a Dell Postro. Um, Dell for me it seems much more solid than the HP. Um, Both of them do have the HDMI outputs. Um, so this is one of the newer laptops. This is a Dell Postro. Dell for me it seems much more solid than the HP. Um, so make sure it's also just need to be pried open. So just find a spot where you can push in your screwdriver, which we have some prying tools to just make it easier. If you are working on customer devices, I wouldn't advise you to, to open it this way. Get you the proper tools. These are my personal devices. The one is actually my work devices. As you can see, it also has the two slots for RAM. They are installed with 8 gigs of RAM. It has the Wi-Fi card over there. I installed the extra hard drive. As you can see, it has the newer model. Is it the NVRAM drive, which is also solid state, and they're also quite fast. So I have my operating system running on there, and then this is just an extra hard drive, which is 500 gigabytes of storage space, just for some extra storage because this is my unit I use daily. It has a removable battery, but which is also installed inside. The hard drive is also in an enclosure. I'm not going to remove it now. As you can see, the motherboard is also way more accessible. Laptops do not have a built-in power supply unit, so they do require one to be plugged in externally. Laptops have onboard speakers, and most new ones have the mic built in, whereas older ones have a auxiliary port to plug in an external mic. Also, like any other computer, a laptop requires an operating system. You can choose from Windows to Mac OS. Even Google has its own operating system at the moment. So make sure to do your research before you purchase one.